Does your guitar strumming sound stiff, choppy, and just robotic? Like you know what the chords are and how to play the strumming pattern, but the whole thing just doesn't come to life. By the end of this video, that will be a problem of the past. Because I'm going to give you the exact blueprint for a relaxed, natural groove that will stick with you forever. But first, I need to tell you one harsh truth. The reason your strumming sounds robotic is simply because you're using the wrong tool to do it. You're strumming like a lumberjack when you actually need to strum like a painter. The lumberjack uses their whole arm with big, clumsy hacking motions like this. But the painter uses their wrist to do the job. And that motion is loose, rotational, and precise. I'm gonna teach you how to strum like a painter with my 3-pillar system. The first step to the painter's wrist is to shake your hand like this, as if there's water on your wrist and you're trying to shake it off. Step 2 is to make the gentlest fist that you possibly can, as if you're protecting a butterfly inside of it and you don't want it to come out and you also don't want to crush it. Step 3 is to combine the looseness of that wrist you just did with the motion of shaking the water off. And this is going to be the motion for perfect guitar strumming because you're physically forcing your wrist to make that relaxed rotational movement that is essential for strumming. By the way, if this exercise is already making you think of the guitar in a totally new way, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button on my channel real quick because I upload daily guitar tutorials on how you can become a better musician. And this is the core to the painter's wrist. Before I show you how to strum with the guitar pick, I'll first tell you how to hold your fingers when you strum. It's essential to learn both ways. Make sure to keep your index finger like this and then gently put your thumb against it like that. Do not press the fingers against each other because you want to avoid as much pressure as you possibly can when you strum the guitar. Instead, I want you to think of it like this. The thumb is stabilizing your index finger. Your index finger is actually doing most of the work when strumming. Let me show you what it looks like from my perspective. Start with your index finger like this. Then place your thumb on it and don't let your index finger peep out like that or your thumb peep out like that. Don't press the fingers against each other. And it's going to be this part of your index finger that's touching the strings. You strum downwards like this. And then in the end you bend off with your wrist a little bit like that. Now when you do the upstroke, it's essential to go with the bow up like this. For this exact reason, I always visualize my strumming as a capital letter D because you go down like this and then with the bow up. And it's going to be this part of your index finger that's touching the strings. So not the nail, not the cushion, but a little bit of both. So when you strum the guitar with your index finger and thumb, you strum downwards like this. And then in the end, you bend off with your wrist a little bit like that. Then you go with the bow up to do the upstroke. So it's down, straight, rotate, bow up. Like that. Now let's add a guitar pick to the equation without losing what we've learned. Start with that same loose butterfly painter's wrist and keep your fingers against each other like before. But this time you're gonna put a guitar pick right in between those fingers like this. Do not squeeze the guitar pick because this will add unnecessary tension to your strumming. So when you strum with the guitar pick, it's important to know that you do the same capital letter D motion as when you strum with fingers. So you go down like that in a straight line and you bend off your wrist again. But this time you also adjust the angle of your guitar pick itself. So when you do the upstroke, the angle of the pick should be this. And then here, by the time you reach this string, it should be here. So it goes like this. Downstroke, rotate wrist and adjust angle of the pick. Then you go up with the bow like that. Now that you've mastered the painter's wrist, let's get into pillar number 2, the pendulum. This is where we turn that loose wrist into a constant engine for groove. But before that, I need to tell you one other harsh truth. See, another reason why your strumming sounds robotic is because you have a start-stop mentality. You see downstrokes and upstrokes as 2 totally separate motions. Like you think, okay, I need to strum down. Okay, now I need to strum up, like that. And while it is true that you need to practice downstrokes and upstrokes separately, it is not true that they're completely separate motions to begin with. They work together as one. Step 1, mute the strings. Step 2, do a downstroke, and then as soon as you are at that farthest point of your downstroke, bounce back up with the bow up. So 1, 2, and when your hand is up, then let your wrist gently fall down into the swing. So it's down, up. Down, up. Now it is a constant looping motion, like this. Motion of strumming comes from your forearm, but it's your wrist that lets the pendulum swing freely. And this is why strumming is actually a combination of your wrist and your forearm, but mostly your wrist. But it kind of does raise a new question. Because if your hand is always moving when you're strumming, how do you play complex rhythms? How do you play the rests and the spaces between the strums? Let me explain that to you with my 3rd and final pillar, the power of silence. The core belief of this pillar is to use silence as an additional element of rhythm. Let me give you an example. So when I do this strumming pattern, you could hear a silent part, right? Here. like what I said here, that is the silent part. That silent part in the strumming rhythm I just demonstrated is called a ghost strum. And here's what I want you to understand about it. It's not just a silent part in your strumming pattern. No, you're actually playing the rests. You perform the motion, you feel the rhythm, but you intentionally miss the string. By doing this, you can create complex rhythms in your strumming patterns on the guitar. Now it's time to apply all of this information to 3 essential strumming patterns on the guitar. But first, let's recap the 3-pillar system real quick. The first pillar was all about unlocking the painter's wrist, so your strumming should be loose, rotational, and calm. The second pillar was the pendulum, so your downstrokes and upstrokes are not separate motions, but they work together as one. And the third pillar was all about the power of silence. The silences you play are just as important as the strums you hear. So strumming pattern number 1 is going to be the pulse, and this is the foundation of all strumming patterns. So it's down, come up, like that. So now with the chord, speed it up. Keep one flawless motion. The second essential strumming pattern for the guitar is going to be the introspective soul, and it goes like this. Down, 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 up. So if you break it down slowly, it's going to be 3 strums of down, go strum, up, down, go strum, up, down, go strum, up. And then the 4th time, it's just down, up. And the third and final strumming pattern is going to be the classic campfire. And this one is timeless. This is the strumming pattern that you'll hear in a lot of videos and a lot of songs. And it goes like this. The best way to learn this pattern is simply to break it down in 2 parts. So part 1 goes like this. Down, down, up. And then you do a ghost strum down. So it's down, down, up, ghost. Part 2 goes like this. Up, down, up. And now we're going to glue together. Down, down, up, ghost, up, down, up. What is the best way to practice your strumming patterns? The first thing you need to do is to practice on muted strings. And the reason why this works is you're isolating the strumming task. You're training the muscle memory of your strumming hand without also having to worry about switching chords or whatever. The second way to practice your strumming patterns effectively is to use a metronome. And I have some good news for that, because did you know that if you search metronome on Google, you get a free ready-to-use metronome that you can literally use right away. So I've just searched up a metronome and I've set it to 70 BPM. It sounds like this. Now I'm gonna take pattern 3 and practice it. Like that. So start at 60, then work your way to 70, and then go to 80 and beyond. The third way to really get that groove into your strumming patterns is to record yourself while you're practicing. And trust me on this, the camera does not lie. Like, you'll immediately see if your motion is correct and if it sounds correct. And that's great, because you'll immediately be able to improve it straight after. So you started this video feeling trapped and robotic, but now you have the pillars, the tools, and the understanding to erase that feeling forever. And if you're ready to take this newfound groove and apply it to actual songs, I've put together the perfect step for you. Click the playlist on screen to continue your journey. I'll see you over there.